Welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Open Great League and trying out a different team here today, featuring Shadow Magnezone paired with the Cresselia and the Mantine. So here we got a decent matchup. Both of us are doing super effective fast moves here, but you can see they're going to be able to throw their fast move first. Actually, they decided to, we are going to be able to get the fast move first. Because they have to get to 3 incinerates. Sorry about that. So we are able to get that move off first, get a shield, and then our opponent here does end up throwing a flame charge right back at our Mantine. We are able to tank that quite easily. They go for another move here, anticipating their flying move, whether it's Brave Bird or Fly right there. So we did shield the first one. This second one here is gonna hurt, but we do survive it. So that's as good as it's gonna get. We do get matched up against a Swampert here. Swampert is going to be able to tank that first move. We save a move on our Mantine, and then we switch out into our Cresselia. We think that this Cresselia could be decent in the backline here, so we're just going to continue farming. They decided to throw a move. This is going to be the Hydro Cannon. We're going to shield here to preserve the health of this Cresselia because we don't really know what's in the back right now. They have shown that they don't want to see this Cresselia, so we're going to get a little bit of energy advantage, and they end up having the Frostlass. Frostlass here is going to be pretty spammy. Let's see. Yeah, they can tank that Future Sight really easily there and force us to use at least 2 more charge moves. We're barely able we're not going to be able to get to that Grass Knot right there, and that is GG's, unfortunately. If we got that Grass Knot off, maybe we would have had a chance. They would have used the shield, and then they would have used their energy, and we had a move on our Mantine still, but unfortunate, couldn't close the game back there. All right, here, another top lead. We're going to switch out into the Mantine here. We're going to get... Okay, they don't switch out, so it looks like they are going to throw probably a Scald. Scald here does get used. They basically did a chip and dip, try to get the debuff on our Mantine, but it did not happen. So with this energy advantage, we're going to go for this Water Pulse. Water Pulse does some good neutral damage towards this Skarmory. We're going to be able to get to another one here. Doesn't quite KO, but gets it into the red, which is pretty good, as it is in farm down range now. Now we're going to tank the Brave Bird. Okay, they're going to debuff themselves, allow our Magnezone to get 1 Volt Switch to take them out. Okay, they are going to be able to time it quite well and get to another move. So Sky Tag gets fired off. We are able to tank that easily. We do get a little bit of energy advantage here. We're going to switch out immediately again, and we get matched up against a Shadow Glider. Shadow Glider here versus this Cresselia. 2 shields to 2 shields is kind of neutral, depending on who shields what moves we end up throwing. We decided to go for the Grass Knot first. Let's see if they end up shielding. They do decide to shield the first one, so that's step number 1. We need to somehow get the other shield here. We know that they're going to potentially throw a dig, so we're going to shield this one up again, and we're going to go for another Grass Knot after farming a ton of energy. Do we get the second shield from this range? No, unfortunately, no second shield on that move, so we're just going to fire off another Grass Knot. This Grass Knot here does get the shield, so that is how we take down both shields. We're going to try our best to get to another move. They decided to go for a dig here. Does it quite KO? Not quite. So we're going to go to another Grass Knot. This Grass Knot here will be able to take out that Glider. We were trying to get to another Grass Knot right there, but they are able to outpace us to the farm down. And unfortunately for us, that is GG's. We needed to either get that Grass Knot off or get a little bit more energy advantage on our Magnezone. So that was a tough team right there to beat. Got your Whiscash, Glider, Core. Next matchup, let's see what we find. We got the Glider versus our Magnezone. Magnezone here is going to stay in for a little bit. We're going to fire off a Wild Charge. Even though this is a resistant move, watch how much damage this does as a Shadow. Okay, they actually end up shielding, so that is beneficial for us right there because we are going to grab a shield when they could easily survive it, but it was going to be basically 50% is what I was trying to get at. So we're going to try to catch a move. Unfortunately, it doesn't catch the dig. They decide to switch out into their Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff versus the Mantine. We're going to try to chip away at this Wigglytuff as much as possible because we know that the Magnezone potentially could farm down, and we need that extra energy advantage towards their front line. We actually end up taking out the Wigglytuff outright. So we decided to go for the winning the switch. This Aerial Ace does get the shield from our opponent, and now we have to try to beat their last 2 Pokemon with the shield versus our Cresselia and the Magnezone. Right here, they have a choice to go for the bait or go for the dig. We decided to shield the potential dig because we're very close to this Wild Charge. This Wild Charge is going to be resistant, but because this Shadow is definitely enough. So now we get matched up against the Shadow Gardevoir, and we are able to get them to leave because we were going to be able to get to multiple Grass Knots pretty quickly. So GG Star Opponent, able to win that game versus the Gligar lead. They ended up having a pretty interesting team with the Shadow Gardevoir in the back. All right, here we got the Lickitung versus our Shadow Magnezone. We're going to build up to the Wild Charge, throw the Wild Charge, and dip out of here. This is going to get some huge damage, or it's going to get a shield. So we are all of a sudden taking this Lickitung already into the red. They decided to switch out into their Azumarill. Azumarill here is going to have to throw at least 2 moves, possibly 3, depending on what moveset they have. We're going to be able to spam these Aerial Aces quite quickly. Second Aerial Ace goes through, takes it into the yellow already. Meanwhile, our Mantine is in the green still. Gonna have to take this first move. They reveal they have Play Rough. So, considering they threw the Play Rough right there, we can anticipate probably a Play Rough Hydro Pump Azumarill. That means that it's going to take them a while to get to these moves, and potentially we can catch right here. Hopefully we get the... Oh, okay, so they actually end up having the Ice Beam Play Rough Azumarill. Either way, that was a decent catch by us because we do get the farm down, and we were able to tank the move from the Azumarill. They come back in with their Sableye. This Sableye here has to think about shielding because this Wild Charge would have done a huge amount of damage. We do get that shield, and now we're going to come back in with our Mantine, which has a little bit of energy. We're going to fire off a Aerial Ace here to get the damage off, and then we're going to try to get to another Aerial Ace. We do get to the Aerial Ace here, so this is important because this is going to get it into the red potentially, but they decide that they want to shield that up because they realize their Sableye is going to be probably their key to win. They decide to fire off the first Foul Play. Foul Play does get shielded by us. This next Foul Play here will be super effective, but it doesn't quite KO because we are pretty tanky for a Cresselia. Grass Knot goes through, takes out the Sableye, and now we just have to try to get to another move, and we are able to get to the move. So GG Star Opponent, they decided to leave because we were very close to another Grass Knot, and they were pretty much energy dry. All right, let's see what we find in our last game here. Let's see if we can end off on a good note. We're going to be using the Shadow Magnezone versus this Cofagrigus. Kind of an interesting lead here. Definitely don't want this Cofagrigus onto our Cresselia, so we're going to stay in for now, trying to get some shields, trying to either soft lose this or win this lead. We do get the shield out of our opponent right there. We are going to have to commit a shield as well if we want to try to win this or get this last shield. We decided to go for the double bait here. This Mirror Shot will not get shielded, so they decide to save the shield and win the lead. This Dark Pulse will take out our Magnezone, but we're going to try to farm down with our Mantine here. Let's see if we get the farm down. Ooh, great farm down by the Mantine. That is huge because we're going to be able to have a ton of energy going into the backline. They reveal that they have Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff here is going to be having to either shield eventually because you can see these Aerial Aces will add up. Second Aerial Ace does go through, gets it into the low yellow, trying to get to another Aerial Ace right here. This is going to threaten KO or the last shield. Let's see what our opponent ends up deciding to do. They decide to shield it and try to farm our Mantine down. But look at this Mantine. Wow. Getting to all these Aerial Aces, taking out this Wigglytuff, even with the shield. And now we're going to go into our Cresselia versus this Annihilate. And this Annihilate is going to get annihilated because we are running the Future Sight on the Cresselia. And boom goes the Annihilate. So GG Star Opponent. Well played by us. Check out this team if you haven't already. And let us know if you enjoyed the video.